As a genderqueer person, my experience will read this film differently than trans women, a demographic shown in this film. That being said, I am also aware that the language revolving trans women was different in the 90s and that the LGBTQ+ community has transformed at an alternative pace than the US, where I reside. All About My Mother, original title Todo Sobre Mi Madre, is a film written and directed by Spanish filmmaker Pedro Almodóvar, and it was released in 1999. Throughout the film, identity is shown through two motifs, performance/theater and the color red. Almodóvar uses these tools to craft a narrative that connects women and mothers, regardless of who they are and what their past is. Almodóvar was born in an impoverished region in Spain, La Mancha, and left his path of becoming a priest in 1968 to forge his path as a filmmaker in Madrid. Almodóvar is openly gay, and he is known to feature women and transgender folks in his films. His care of the subject matter in his films solidifies him as a queer cinema icon. In All About My Mother, the story revolves around a mother, Manuela, played by Cecilia Roth. Her son, Esteban, El Reazorin, is a passionate rider who dies the night of his 17th birthday while chasing a car. Who was being chased? Two actresses, Uma Rojo, Marisa Perez, and her showmance lover. His death causes Manuela to return from Madrid to Barcelona, determined to find Esteban's father, a transgender woman named Lola, played by Toni Canto. Her return reconnects her with a charismatic Agrado, played by trans actress Antonia San Juan, a sex worker who helps her get back on her feet upon her return. Taking her to the local Catholic church, they meet Sister Rosa, Penelope Cruz, who is very involved with the transgender sex workers and others who come to the church for aid. Although there are other connecting characters featured in this film, I plan on highlighting these mentioned. First, let's talk about performance and theater in this film. The prevalence of theater and performance is obvious in this film. For his birthday, Esteban requests to see Manuela act in an organ donation simulation, a gruesome foreshadowing of his fate. The mother-son duo set off that night to go to a production of Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire. In this play, Uma plays Blanche Dubois, a once-desired Southern belle. For those unfamiliar with the play, the overarching plot is described as indulging in one's desire in the form of unrestrained promiscuity leads to forced departures and unwanted ends. This message can be applied to Lola's actions as a sex worker. The connection of Lola to this play extends as Manuela recalls
Estela. Hace 20 años con el grupo de mi pueblo hacíamos una versión del tranvía. Yo hacía de Estela, tu padre de Kowalski.
This gives insight into the couple's dynamic, and it is reinforced later when Rosa is told their story. Additionally, this play offers an interpretation that Blanche is a transgender woman. Theater tropes have placed someone under the transgender umbrella in this role, and those who have been this character present a new understanding of her. Examining this character through the lens of trans bodies invokes Judith Butler's theories on gender and how performative it is, and how it's ever transforming. I believe that this film shows identity through these women and the stage, because identity is coded on the stage. There is a separation between the actors and the audience, and it's separated by a red curtain. And I think that by Agrado stepping in front of that red curtain, being on stage, being authentic, and telling the audience about all these procedures that she has taken in order to become herself, it shows that identity can stretch beyond that red curtain, that these performances that these women might be doing are extensions of themselves.
Bueno, lo que les estaba diciendo, que cuesta mucho ser auténtica, señora. Y en estas cosas no hay que ser rácana, porque una es más auténtica
cuanto más se parece a lo que soñó de sí misma.
Uma blurs her connection with Blanche by quoting her off stage to Manuela.
Gracias. Quien quiera que sea, siempre confiado en la bondad de los desconocidos. Gracias. Quien quiera que sea, siempre confiado en la bondad de los desconocidos.
Almodovar invokes a Judith Butler idea of identity and being in this film. They state, "To claim that this is what I am is to suggest a provisional totalization of this I. But if the I can so determine itself, then that which it excludes in order to make that determination remains constitutive of the determination itself." In other words, such a statement presupposes that the I extends its determination and even produces that very excess in and by the act which seeks to exhaust the somatic field of that I. What she's saying here is that the I is never definitive. The I that I am now is very different from the I that I was when I was 17 or when I was 6 months ago.
De la vie dans laquelle il ou elle est.
The connection between the main cast of women is further shown with the color red. Why does color matter in film? The hue for the set, clothes, and surrounding for the characters, quote, enriches the emotional depth of characters in film narratives, ensuring the creator's intended emotions are vividly and distinctively perceived by the viewers, end quote.
Todo es supervisado por Pedro, todo. Cada pequeño objeto que aparece en la película, cada gesto que se ha hecho para cambiar el maquillaje, cada broche que pueda aparecer, la decisión sobre todos los elementos estéticos que aparecen en la película, la supervisa Pedro.
Red works with the story to note who is influential and will be followed throughout the film. This color typically associates with the feeling of anger, but there is also a seductive interpretation. All About My Mother uses this color to convey connection, womanhood, and those who affect Manuela. Using the color as a representation of these women's connection, we see how highly Esteban sees his mother, along with the foreshadowing that this night would end up connecting the mother with the actress. When we see Agrado for the first time, she wears a red jacket, one I believe is the same one Lola wears when she is first revealed. When Agrado and Manuela meet Sister Rosa, the nun wears a dress with red accents all over, and they sit on a red couch. Many influential moments for Manuela happen when she is in red. When she views Streetcar in Barcelona after the passing of her son, she wears the inverse of the outfit she wore that unfortunate night.
Por favor, hijo mío, hijo mío, hijo mío.
After discovering Rosa is pregnant and later diagnosed with HIV, the setting around Manuela and Rosa is red. She, being a caring, mothering character, transforms the meaning of red in this film. It is her defining color in my eyes, and this connects her to those around her. One of the most prominent scenes in this film is covered in hues of red.
La cantidad de pollas que me comí en lugares públicos sin que nadie, excepto el interesado, se diera cuenta.
El tiempo que hace que no me como yo una polla.
Conclusion? This movie has a lot of substance to it. What stood out to me was the acceptance of the trans woman in this film. Now, this wasn't a complete acceptance. There is nuance. But there is the notion that someone's gender isn't something to be contested. The interpretations of Blanche and the allegories between Stella and Manuela bring a different understanding of all of these characters. And although red can mean a lot, Almodovar seems to use this color to connect these women and their journey. In the 2024 Goya Awards, these leading ladies, along with Almodovar, joined the host Aver Calvo and Aver Ambrosi, a gay couple, on stage to honor the film's 25th anniversary. Overall, this was a wonderful film. I enjoyed getting to pick through this movie, and I definitely am so appreciative of my instructor Priya. She gave me the resources so that I could fully engross myself into this film for this project. Thank you so much for watching my video essay.